Just like accidentally catching your sad, sweaty reflection whilst on a 10-hour Netflix binge, there's one thing that can truly strike fear into the most hardy of audiences when it comes to horror films. Able to drop your stomach like a face full of Dorito stains staring back at you from the void, it's 5 little words that wield this disturbing power, based on a true story. There's nothing quite like knowing that what you're about to watch actually happened to some poor traumatized families. And cinema has a habit of bringing terrifying truth into a full technicolor, try saying that 3 times over, so we can see what it's really like to suffer unimaginable horrors from another dimension. Just as they did, the truth is out there and Hollywood knows it. With that in mind, I'm Ash from What Culture, and these are 10 true ghost stories that inspired horror films. 10. The Rite. In what is one of the more interesting roles in his career, Anthony Hopkins' time playing a Catholic priest and America's top exorcist came in 2011, when he donned the robes and took his studies at the Vatican's own exorcism school in the Rite. That really does exist, but you have to be a priest to go. Trust me, I researched this thoroughly. The inspiration for the character came from Father Gary Thomas, a Californian man tasked by his local bishop to learn the ways of exorcism for the diocese. He's happily discussed his experiences with devilish creatures at length in interviews, in which he's seen people inherit incredible strength, speak in tongues, and take on the qualities of snakes. And not like your mate skipping out on their round, but by their bone structure literally shifting shape. Scary. 9. The Amityville Horror. The true tale of the longest-standing haunted house film starts with not just one murder, but 6, committed at the hands of Ronald DeFeo Jr. in 1974. Taking the lives of his parents and 4 siblings, the 23-year-old shot his family in their sleep, citing that he just couldn't stop once he'd started. Over a year later, the Lutz family move into the old DeFeo home for a steal, snapping up the property for its reduced asking price on account of there being a mass murder under its roof. Whatever floats your boat. Forced to leave after just 28 days, the experiences the Lutz family went through include levitating in their beds, being watched by a strange, pig-like creature in the windows, and finding green slime oozing from the walls. Upon exercising their home, a voice shouted at them to get out. Get out they did, and proved their story by passing numerous lie detector tests. By Jeremy Kyle standards, that's a bona fide haunting. 8. Audrey Rose. Based on the novel of the same name by Frank De Felitta, Audrey Rose recounts the story of a young girl that is killed in a car crash, only to be reincarnated in another body halfway around the world. The author wrote the book after witnessing his son Raymond become instantly amazing at ragtime piano with 0 training on the instrument. When De Felitta questioned his 6-year-old son on how he was performing such a complicated piano piece, he exclaimed that it was his hands doing it of their own accord. I shout the same thing when stealing slices of pizza. Oh my god, it's happening again! After speaking with a Los Angeles occultist, she claimed that it was a memory from a past life coming through into his current one, namely an incarnation leak. Raymond is apparently a soul that has been through many lifetimes and can pick up where he left off. 7. Deliver Us From Evil. Deliver Us From Evil documents struggling NYPD Sergeant Ralph Sarchi, who joins forces with a priest trained in exorcism to rid the streets of possessed civilians. The very real Sarchi, a self-proclaimed demonologist and protector of the physical realm, is absolutely convinced by his theories and completely anti-science when it comes to dealing with them. A man of extreme faith, he utilises his cross and holy water to fight representations of evil, and it seems to work for him. Sarchi claims to have seen an incubus, backwards writing appearing on mirrors, and demons using people as mouthpieces throughout his time on the job, but never once has it put him off his calling to save the world from demons. Let's hope Trump is next for the holy water treatment then. 6. The Conjuring. The original Conjuring film looks at the Perron family case, of which a family of 7 were haunted by spirits that varied from friendly ghosts that took them into bed to homicidal witch demons. There really is no in-between here. The parents and their 5 daughters had the majority of their problems with ghostly Bathsheba, a real-life woman accused of being a witch and sacrificing her children to the devil in the 19th century. Appearing in person regularly to terrify the house's occupants, Bathsheba focused her aggression on Carolyn, the mother of the family, in a bid to assert her dominance as the woman of the house. The Conjuring reflected these facts admirably, with the only difference being that an exorcism was never undertaken. Instead, they managed to escape by moving away in 1980, and new residents have all corroborated having encounters with the spirits in the home, though none have been haunted as aggressively as the Perrons since. 5. The Exorcist. Yes, the granddaddy of all spooky ghost stories actually has a grounding in reality, so now you can be doubly scared of the infamous horror film that has induced vomit and fainting fits for the past 30 years. You're welcome. Inspired by the very real exorcisms of Roland Doe, the representation of Regan and her horrific experiences weren't far off what the young Maryland boy suffered during the 1940s. Over 30 exorcisms were performed on him, and it's believed that Roland used a Ouija board in an attempt to contact his recently deceased aunt, causing a paranormal entity to take control of his body. The attending holy men that treated the boy kept detailed diaries, writing of furniture moving by itself and Roland speaking in a strange, guttural voice. Words appeared on his body with no cause, including the letter X, which is believed to represent 10, the amount of demons trying to take control of his body. 4. The Haunting in Connecticut. Much like the movie, it's true that the family moved into a home that was previously, unbeknownst to them, a funeral parlor, a place of death and malintent so strong that it wasn't long before spirits started manifesting and causing issues for the harried family. By issues, I mean turning water into blood and spectral sodomy, so yeah, issues. With their son Philip suffering from cancer in his hospital an easy distance away from their new home, moving wasn't as quick an option as they would have hoped for. Philip was also diagnosed with schizophrenia soon after moving into the home, resulting in bouts of dark and violent actions towards his siblings that resulted in him being sent away. His symptoms eased off after leaving, and his cancer also went into remission, hinting at a much darker sickness dwelling in the house itself. 3. The Exorcism of Emily Rose. There's plenty of films on real-life exorcisms that populate the world of film, though none more tragic than the tale of Anneliese Michel, a German woman appropriated for Hollywood in the form of Emily Rose. Tragically subjected to more than 67 exorcisms in a year, Michelle was said to have suffered from a range of mental health issues that went untreated in the face of her apparent possession. On the other hand, priests claimed the young girl to be inhabited by 6 demons, including Cain, Hitler, Nero, Judas, Belial, and the devil himself, Lucifer. The film follows the trial of those involved in treating her, subjecting her parents and the 2 Catholic priests who perform the rites to intense scrutiny over their actions. Obviously, it's much harder to cite an exorcism as the correct course of action when it fails, as demonic possession itself has to be inherently proven along the way. 2. The Possession. In the film, opening an antique box leads to an evil spirit taking over a young girl's body, and her estranged parents must join forces to break the curse put upon their daughter. The real story actually features a charming wine cabinet, originally bought from an estate sale by Kevin Manis. The cabinet was allegedly home to a Dybbuk, a malicious spirit from Jewish mythology. Immediately after purchasing the box, which he intended to give as a gift to his mother, his shop was destroyed and his string of bad luck only got worse. After giving the box as a present, his mother suffered a stroke and returned it, upon which he tried to give it away to many friends before they claimed a foul smell and recurring nightmares, giving it back each time. Like all secondhand junk that no one wants though, it was eventually bought on eBay. The box is now housed safely in a museum, though the owner still experiences the strange smell and suffers curious diseases linked to the Dybbuk. 1. The Entity. With the film strikingly representing the truth behind it, Doris Bither from Culver City, California, claimed to be sexually assaulted by ghosts. That's right, not just 1, but 3 paranormal entities would regularly attack the woman, and the events were corroborated by her 4 young children. None of the family was safe from the presence, who bit, slapped, and scratched them all with no remorse, though it was only Bither that had attacks of a sexual nature. Paranormal investigators have been obsessed with the case, and many reported witnessing strange happenings around Bither when they visited her home. Unfortunately, the only explanations they could offer were that Bither had summoned the creatures herself by either manifesting negative energies or through toying with occult practices in her teenage years, though no one knows the truth behind the case, and now we never will. Bither died in 1999, leaving a remarkable haunting case forever unsolved. And that's our list. What other films have you found a terrifying true story behind? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. I've been Ash, and this has been What Culture. Make sure to subscribe to the What Culture YouTube channel for more lists like this, and don't forget to visit whatculture.com for daily news and articles. Thanks for watching.